And I'm going to say thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald Trump.
So you want it.
Judge Mathis just surgically broke down why you are a dummy if you don't believe that Nolan Walsh was murdered in cold.
6 times comedians warned us about terrible celebrities. Number 6, Andrew.
It's against the law to obstruct an investigation of Congress. There will be repercussions to your refusal to testify today.
Okay. How y'all doing today? Well, tonight, this morning. It's kind of late where I am, but I still got up to make these videos for you because I discovered we got some breaking news on the Nolan Wells case. They getting caught up. And Nancy Grace is discussing some things. We got Judge Mathis on here discussing some things. We got a couple of people talking about this, so we're gonna find out what's really going on with this case. They stringing it along. It's really, allegedly, they know what's going on. So, but we gonna get to this, get to the video so that we can find out what's really going on with them. All right. Without further ado, let's get to this.
Or why just that one area? I don't believe that when you have been deceased that long, you've already undergone autopsy, they've drained the blood from your body, that somehow in the few hours of transport, you're going to get pooling of the blood to one area in the back of your...
Nancy Grace is back on the prowl, but tonight she says something that make you really want to think.
Weeds, bud. Nolan is dead. He's already been autopsied. Days have passed, and you're telling me that the blood could still sift down from the front of his face to the back of his neck in one specific area. Why was it pulling all the way down his neck? Or why just that one area? I don't believe that when you have been deceased that long, you've already undergone autopsy, they've drained the blood from your body, that somehow in the few hours of transport, you're going to get pooling of the blood to one area in the back of your neck.
If the medical examiners in Mississippi would have included their findings as well as their pictures, then none of these questions would be in the air. As they clarified several times, he was found face down, so it's no telling how long that red discoloration was on the back of his head. I still believe that there's something real fishy about this story that people are not willing to share. And by those people, I mean the people that was actually with him that day. But leave it up to Nancy. She'll get to the bottom of it. Count me out.
Today, I will be showing y'all the algorithm the feds use to give these people all this fucking time. This shit like a game of Sudoku, but it's not a fucking game. These numbers will be used against you if the feds decide to pick up your case. Now, I wish somebody would have told me this shit when I was young. I'd probably be cutting grass or driving an ice cream truck. Now, look here. The top part right here is the criminal history category. You can see it. Bam. So how they do this is based off of your prior convictions. So you get points off your prior convictions. So if you ever been charged for anything, it counts against you in the long run. So how they score this is 1. If you ever been convicted of a felony, you serve 1 year and a day or more. That's 3 points. Or if you ever been convicted of a felony and you serve 6 to 12 months, that's 2 points. Or any other miscellaneous felony or misdemeanor count is 1 point. All right, so look, I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you got 1 misdemeanor on your record and you just so happen to have 1 felony, you serve 6 months. You did county time. You never even been to fucking prison. So look here, you come home and you ride around with a gun. This gun just so happened to be fully fucking loaded. This bitch got a 30 on it, the beam, every fucking thing, right? So boom, the feds pull you over. Whoop, whoop, or the police, however it be. You feel me? They pull you the fuck over. And the serial number scratched off this gun. The feds will pick that case up, right? So I'm going to tell you how this goes. Since you're already a felon in possession of a firearm, they're going to start you off at offense level 16. Now, this is this column on this side right here. So look, you already in category 2. So we're just going to slide down, boop, 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 offense level 16. Your ass is facing 24 to 30 months. Now, we call that a cowboy's lunch break in here. Now, look here. The number gets greater, my nigga. It don't stop there. Hold on. For those of you who don't know, the ATF will be involved in this. These are federal agents who specify in alcohol, tobacco, and firearm. So they will be looking for this shit. If you're in that field, they're in that field. So you need to be looking out for them because they're looking out for you. Now look here. What these guys is going to do, they're going to take this gun and they're going to set this gun down. And they're going to have a bunch of beers and they're going to examine this gun and find little things to nitpick, to add points, to get your shit down here to the 30s and shit, the 30 to life and all this dumbass shit. So look here, this is how this shit going to go. They're going to have this gun. They're going to set this gun down. They're going to have a bunch of beers. And the conversation is going to go like this. Hey, Bob, I bet you I can get this guy 30 years off this one gun. Well, George, you got yourself a bet. Well, shit, he had a 30-round magazine capacity. That 4 points right there. You're right. Now, look here. I think he had a drum in the back seat, too. I think he had a drum. Yeah, he had a drum. That's another 4 points. Okay. Now, look here. Let's see. Oh, he got a beam. Oh, this bitch got a flashlight. Okay, so we can give him 4 for each one, even though it's built in one. Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, okay, we're going to give him 4 for each one. All right, so boom. All right, here we go. Let's move around. Let's check these clips out. Let's check what type of bullets he got. Okay. Oh, these are armor-piercing bullets. Holy shit. That's another 4 points right there. Okay. And then that nigga had a vest on. Fucking thing is 60 cents. Okay, look, he get 4 points for that too. This guy's a gangster. This guy's really serious, man. Okay, let's see. Holy shit, what's this on the back of it, George? Hey, back up, Bob. That's a switch. Hold on, holy shit. That's an automatic 15 years right there. That's a weapon of mass destruction. So now your dumbass just went from a Cowboys lunch break to a whole motherfucking bid. You facing 15 to fucking 30 years that fast, nigga, off a switch. I'm telling you.
These fast food restaurants do not have our best interests in hand. I keep warning y'all, but y'all don't want to listen. So they're saying that Starbucks is putting an ingredient in their drinks called silica, and it's making a lot of people sick. You even have Starbucks workers making videos showing you this new blending powder, and they're saying it's toxic. But you don't believe me, right? Look at this shit.
Okay,
don't
guys,
say I didn't tell you so.
Me and Lori, we're gonna be testing out the blending powder because, as you guys know, it's toxic.
You heard her?
Bro, you're gonna get cancer.
Look. You hear them saying it. Look what that turned into.
Stinks so bad.
Wow. Look. And this is what y'all drinking.
This is what y'all are eating.
You have workers making videos coughing. You have workers saying that this powder is hurting their throat, giving them headaches, making them feel nauseous. I need you to jump down that rabbit hole and look up that ingredient silica. But you might not have the time, so I did it for you. I need you to look at the top of the screen, right there. See what that says? Silica or silica dioxide is a natural compound made of silicone and oxygen, found commonly in quartz, sand, and in rocks. I don't think I need to say any more, right? Take your time, read the whole thing. But what you need to do is pay attention. I'm out.
They cut that boy's throat out his body, sent the rest of it to D.C. like it was a UPS package with a missing item. And then they got the nerve, the absolute nerve to call it underdetermined. I need you to understand something right now, y'all. We ain't talking about no accident. We ain't talking about no tragic drowning. We talking about a damn cover-up. If you sitting there thinking, well, maybe it was a standard procedure, then you need to get up out my comments and go watch somebody else because I ain't got the time for that shit today. Not today, okay? Not on this one. Dr. Roger, Howard University Hospital, National Medical Association president, former chief medical examiner. This man credentials longer than Mississippi whole history of lynching our black bodies. He got on Nolan's body on July the 10th, and let me tell you what he didn't get. Throat, gone. The larynx, gone. Lungs, gone. Stomach, gone. everything that could have told us how that boy died. Every single piece of evidence that could have closed this case and opened it wide for the world to see, missing. Then they want us to believe that this was standard procedure. Since when is standard procedure lose the throat of a black boy found dead in Mississippi water with white friends who lawyered up before his mama could even plan a damn funeral? Since when? Since when? I will wait. Please explain that shit to me. And don't get me started on the back of his head.
This pyramid is in Antarctica. Take a look at this right here, especially when everything's in plain sight. So this right here, this is at the UN office, the UN headquarters. Got this on their wall. And if you look right here, this is Antarctica, which we thought that it was just in one spot, but this is all around, keeping us in this fishbowl, Operation Fishbowl, you feel what I'm saying? What Admiral Byrd was on. And I read the diary too in 2015, and I need to go check that out too whenever I get a chance, because he's telling more of what's really going on, but saying it in a good for y'all to understand. You feel what I'm saying? But beyond this ice, look, we got more land. We're not done yet. So the amazing part about all of this is Antarctica pyramid is the size about 8 times bigger than the Great Giza pyramid. Feel what I'm saying? Which is, that's what they display the most and then cover up everything over here. But back to it, and base of this structure is about 2 by 2 kilometers. But base of the Giza is less than 250 by 250 meters. So we know this guy funded the first operation for Admiral Byrd. And I was like, let me go look at Antarctica real fast and check out the whole continent on the map. Take a look at this right here. It's universal law for them to put everything in plain sight, but it's just up to us for us to really look and really pay attention to what we're looking at. You feel what I'm saying? Because I'm going through the whole Antarctica, and first of all, they naming all of these islands. You know what I'm saying? If you look, this is extra land that they showing you. So that's how we know there's something going on. Oh, what is that? If you take a look right here, the family that funded that first mission. So what are they doing with the island right here? That was a lot of acres.
The rock.
In Antarctica.
Not the Rothschild.
Look at all them acres. What's going on here? I thought nobody lives there. I thought nobody pulls up over there.
Rich gets richer.
So when we're looking for these people and we be like, man, why we don't ever see these billionaires and the trillionaires? Because they over there. First off, I believe we're on the flat plane of existence, but it's hollow. Because I know y'all didn't heard about the story of Agartha. And that story, that's what Admiral Byrd added into his diary. Take a look at all these different worlds once you get outside the ice wall. So when you got the firmament and you're outside of this wall though, still enclosed in this world, you got other planes of existence that carry out once you get outside them walls. That's what's making the most sense to me, which is still named Jupiter, Saturn, and all these different other worlds, which you could call these multiverses, you know what I mean? But that makes the most sense, especially when you're talking other species, such as us. Go ahead and follow the page, man, if you want more videos like this. Part 2 on the way. You dig?
Nancy Grace just caught Officer Tatum, the man who did the interview with the 2 boys who were with Nolan Wells, in a lie. She caught him completely lying about the lie detector test that the boys supposedly took. This was epic, and I continue to say, this is not about accusing the boys of anything or making sure people are convicted. It's simply about finding out what is the truth. And it is very, very clear that the truth is evading us, in part because people like Officer Tatum are misleading and they're involved in some sort of cover-up, making sure the truth does not come out. So I want you to watch this video, watch Nancy Grace epically catch him in a lie, and then I want to point something else out to you about this interview. So stay to the end. I want to share something with you too.
Have
the friends taking polygraphs?
Well, from my understanding, all but I believe one took a polygraph, and from what was told to me that they all passed, and all of the ones that took a polygraph took one without a lawyer. And so, and they cooperated with law enforcement. So from my understanding, everybody took
Why
a
do you say
polygraph
that's
test
from
but
what
one.
you understand? Did they tell you they took a poly and passed?
They told they yes, ma'am. They told me that they did it. I wasn't there, so that's why I'm saying from my understanding. They told me that all the boys except for one, which is Warren, I believe, took a polygraph test.
there.
All of them did
wasn't
not
there.
have lawyers and did it and cooperated with police. Warren also cooperated with police. I just believe he didn't take a lot to take the test, but Warren is the young man that I interviewed. So according to what they told me, they all took a lot of tech tests and passed. And it's an equivalent of a lot of tech test. It's not a traditional lot of tech test, but it's the same theology of trying to get to if a person is lying. I don't know the name of it. It's an equivalent of a lot of tech tests. It's a different methodology. Yeah, I don't believe it was a polygraph test. I believe they took other stressors in order to analyze if
so
the
then
people were telling the truth or not.
did they take a polygraph would be no.
Well, yeah, I think it could be semantics because they took a test to analyze whether or not they were being truthful in their statements, and that certified test, they
why
passed
don't he
it.
just go on
It just
and
wasn't
say that
considered a
he didn't
traditional
take the
polygraph.
test?
I think it's a more advanced way of doing it.
Brandon Tatum. Hold on. In a nutshell, Joe Scott, there is a difference between a polygraph, which measures all sorts of body signals, your sweat, your breathing, your heart, your blood pressure, all sorts of things, and an audio verification test.
Now, if you're familiar at all with this man, if you're familiar at all with Officer Tatum, he is incredibly combative, very arrogant, very, very aggressive. But if you watch this interview, he's very hesitant. He's stumbling over his words, very timid. And the reason why is because he knows he's lying and he's being confronted by someone who's holding him accountable, you know, the way he should have done.
This
with
man's
the 2 boys he
scared. This a
interviewed.
black man
He's
living in
actually
a white
now
town.
talking to a professional interviewer. Nancy Grace has been a prosecutor. Like, he's talking to someone who knows how to hold you accountable for the answers that you give, and he is no longer this combative, confident, arrogant personality. He's now weak. He's now he's like reducing himself, stumbling over his words, and absolutely lacking confidence. That is a tell. That is a big deal. His demeanor is completely different than when you go to his page and he's telling people they owe him an apology and challenging people to fights. He's not the same person because he's now talking to somebody who's a professional interviewer. And that's exactly how these boys should have been interviewed by him when they had the opportunity. But instead, he's helping participate in some sort of a cover-up. Do I know what they're covering up? No. Do I know who did what? No. But the truth is not out. Something is amiss. And it's partly because he is helping these lies continue, as you just saw in this video. Stay tuned for more. I'm going to keep you guys updated on everything that's going on in the Nolan Wells case with integrity. I'm not going to share misinformation. I'm not going to try to accuse anybody of anything. I just want the truth to come out.
Watch this.
Moment in history as we're looking at efforts across the country to prevent people from being able to exercise their fundamental rights.
What?
We need to come together and do one thing: stop participating. And when we do that, the game is over. When we literally say Monday morning, we're not going to go to work. Imagine if 30 million people didn't go to work Monday. Imagine if 30 million people didn't buy gas on Monday. Imagine if 30 million people went to the bank on Monday and said, I want to withdraw all my money. They can't even give it to all 30 million because only 15% of the cash is available on hand at any given time. The rest is fake zeros and ones. That would collapse the banking system in one day. You see the power in that? You have the power. Well, we all have the power, but what's keeping us back from doing this? Fear. Oh my God, if I don't go to work, I'm going to get fired. And if they don't participate in it, and I'm the only one that doesn't show up for work, I'm going to lose out, and I'm not going to be able to pay my rent. I'm not going to be able to make my car payment, and so forth and so on. You see the trap they have us in? They have us in this system where we're afraid to work together. Man, we're brothers. We should be, link up. Let's do this together.
We didn't need no jobs. Think about it. Why the fuck do we need to work in they factories which are designed to kill off our nature, our wildlife, and us? So no matter where you work, medical field, sports entertainment, you become a rapper, you sell drugs, you go work at Burger King, you go work at retail, all these companies are against us. Yeah, we buy shoes, but we don't think about how many kids they kill and enslave to make the motherfucking shoes and these clothes that we don't even need. We buy food, but they poison in that. We buy water, they poison in that. We go work in the medical field, they train you to poison your people. It's not a job you can name that is not designed to kill us. That's the end goal of every major Fortune 500 company. It's to kill us. Okay? So as you can see that clearly, you can see what the fuck a job is. That's like when I worked at Burger King, McDonald's. I sold all this badass poison meat to my people. For a check.
Everybody stop going to work, stop driving, stop buying gas. It's only gonna take a week.
You think
Watch
a week?
how much those gas prices drop. If nobody bought gas for 1 week.
They already listen. They already have the gas. Remember, we took
took
over
it from
Venezuela.
Right?
They
This
have
is a
to
con.
preserve to say that
You
we
have
kill
to
all
do
this.
something that indicates a position of power.
Yeah.
They can't evict the entire fucking country. So they have to make choices that are going to be in their best interest. If they see everybody stops going to work because they don't want to pay $4 a gallon for gas, first thing they're going to do is lower the gas prices. What do we need to do to get you back to work? Because we need people working and we need people contributing to the economy. So it's not until we start taking back our opportunities to feed them money that they're going to make changes that are in our best interest.
You own the sound.
I've done hundreds of autopsies on infants, toddlers, young teens, young adults, senior citizens, obese, morbidly obese, different ethnicities, suicides, murders, accidents, natural causes. I've done them all. So when you tell me there was an absence of the interior structure of the neck, my question is why and where is it? Was it recovered with the remains, or were the remains like this when you retrieve the remains? What part of his neck is missing? Has the soft tissue been preserved, or did the water damage or anything else disrupt what could possibly be used as information to find out the cause of death? Because if his neck is missing, then what caused his injury? The structural integrity of a neck, unless it was decapitated or dealt severe trauma, should be intact. So where's the portion of his neck? The interior, the inside of his neck is missing. Why? What can cause that type of damage to the neck and then the trauma to the back of the head? Did they strike him in the back of the head and stab him? Or did they shoot him in the neck? Right? And he falls back and he hits his head. In which case, in my humblest opinion, he was murdered. And the individuals who was with him should no longer be walking the earth. There is no justice, only just us. And in this situation, it's perfectly okay to embrace your Satans and enact revenge on the participants. They don't know nothing, don't worry about it. You will not need to know anything else after I'm done with you. The only thing your people need to know is how to summon and or evoke you on your birthday and holidays. To include the parents. The boy was murdered. I've done more than enough autopsies to know the structural integrity of a human body. And very rare will there be an incident outside of blatant murder where a person takes a knife and attacks your neck to where the structural integrity of one's neck, even with a broken neck, the structural integrity of your neck is intact. Unless your head was ripped off or damn near ripped off.
Detail assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the work coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles?
What'd you say? Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just thinking. I don't know. Like we're going down.
That I did not know that existed. And if this is authentic radio transmission between the dispatcher and the caller, then certainly this turns it on its head. They're observing him injured, asking if he's dead. Whoever on that call, with the technology we have now and with interviews amongst the folks who were there, or the phone that the emergency call came from. The dispatcher has that number.
They know who the voices were.
Someone can get it. Then you'll go to the person who made the call and say, what did you see? This is real easy if that is the case. So we'll see what they do with this evidence. The fact that there's some audio from the dispatcher where the person calling asks, or in the background, one or the other, asks, oh my God, is he dead? So that's a whole new level of evidence that I'm interested in seeing where they go with that. And perhaps that's what the prosecutor may have all of this information and say, we're not sharing it because we don't want to bias. We don't want to create bias, et cetera, in the case because in the media, have it, and she may have that. She may have that and take it right to the grand jury. That's what I'm hoping. It sounds like you're looking at something that has already happened and you witnessed what happened and you're saying, did he die from what I just saw? That's what you're saying. Oh, is he dead? Or what? Somebody walked you from around the park and said, hey, or around the other boat dock and say, hey, come look at this. No, you were there. So if that video and audio is correct, it's a whole nother level of evidence that indicates culpability.
That he hired to come in here and clean this motherfucking apartment. Joe might not know who the fuck cleaned it.
Something just hit me. Shoot. Are you mixed race?
No.
Or you a bunny hopper?
Yes.
That's why you have a liberal perspective.
That's not true. That's not
because you go home to a white woman.
Yes, but that's not true. I felt this way before I met my white girlfriend.
So help me understand how you could be so passionate about the black.
I'm passionate. I'm an objective thinker. I don't. If something makes sense.
So you have no loyalty to the black community.
No, I do have. I probably employ more blacks than you.
Okay. So help me understand that you employ more blacks than me, but you go home to a white woman. Why you don't have a black woman?
Because I fell in love with a white woman, not a black
Why didn't you fall in love with a black woman?
I did. I fell in love with a black woman. We broke up.
Okay. And why didn't you fall in love with another black woman?
I did that too. We broke up.
Okay. And why didn't you get another one and another one and another one until you found the right one?
Because I met a white woman that I fell in love with, and that's the person that
and
I'm
you're
with
being
today.
disingenuous about
That's
something.
not true.
And let me tell you what you're being disingenuous about.
Shoot.
Romance is a function of focus and opportunity. If I want to date an Asian, I'm going to put myself around Asian women so I can find one. If I want to date a Latino, I'm going to put myself around Latino women so I can date one. If you wanted to marry a black woman, you would have put yourself around black women so you can find one. So how did you end up with the Caucasian? No disrespect to her.
No, not at all. What I'm telling you is the places that I go socially are not just monolithic.
So what? I went to a white college, white job. I never bunny hopped.
Listen to my question. Let me answer you. That wasn't my priority. My priority wasn't, I'm not closed off to dating Latino women. I'm not closed off to dating Asian women. I'm not closed off to dating white women. So again, in my search for romance, all of those things were on the table for me.
But you do understand that by not being with a black woman, you undermine the success of the black community.
That's your opinion.
That's my opinion. Then tell me how the black community benefits from you having a white woman.
If I lend to the financial uplifting of that community, one. That's one thing. Two, if I'm helping to educate the people in that particular community, that's a benefit.
Does not your white woman benefit more from your economics than any black person?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly.
So why can't they both be mutually beneficial?
You want to know why? Because she belongs to the group that is responsible for the historical oppression of your race. So why would you voluntarily go over and marry into that? Because when you marry the woman, you don't just marry the woman or date the woman. You're dating her community and her culture. And given the history of us and them, why would you dare align yourself with that if you care about us?
Let me ask you a question.
The reason you have no business being with a Caucasian woman is although she nor her family may have participated in our oppression directly, she benefits from it. Every white person benefits from the enslavement of blacks. Every white person benefits from the marginalization of black folks. Every white person benefits from every handicap that has been introduced into our community. And I'm quite sure she, like every other white person, has done nothing to level the playing field.
Should we have that
He actually came back from the island with his friends to Evan's house and then got into a fight with them. She said she saw his friends arguing with him. They then took his phone, and when he asked for it back, things got physical. And she later saw Nolan on the ground, gasping for air and spitting up blood. And of course, people started questioning her, saying, if you knew all of this, why didn't you notify police? And she said she did. That's how they got his phone, and his keys were on top of his Xbox. And of course, people asked if he was at the pool party, then how did his body get discovered on the island? And she said because his friends were trying to cover up what actually happened, but she knows the truth. And she said that the truth is that his friends took him back to the island the next morning around 4 a.m. on July 5th and just left him there before his body was discovered just hours later. And as you may remember, his parents said it was very suspicious that he was found right there on July 6th when they went to the island the day before on July 5th and searched there all day and found nothing.
There is another version of the sound that has come out. Someone has isolated it further than what was isolated the first time. And there's some new things in this. And it is not AI, just so you know.
I don't have the tag on here. It got ripped off. Reach me at 2. What? Yeah, everybody's off the way. What? No, we do not need that. Let me go look.
Did you hear it? Did you hear what they were saying? And there's more. I'm going to put more of it up, but I can't put it all up because it's over 6 minutes long. So it has to be done in cuts. But in this version, they asked, are you on speakerphone? Check his chest. And there's more. And I'm going to put the rest up. I'm going to see if this video stays up. If you guys spread it and share it, then I'll put the rest of it up. But if it gets taken down, obviously I can't keep getting violations to spread this. So share it quickly.
Mr. Chambers, welcome to the committee. Please state your name for the record.
Gary Chambers, representing myself here. I am not surprised by the things that we see happening in our country today, because this is as true to America as it has always been. I was born in 1985. I'm 40 years old. A lot of times when we talk about this history, we like to go back to the 1960s, the 1800s. But when I was born in 1985, there were no black members of Congress from Louisiana. I was 6 years old when Bill Jeffers was sworn into office. I was 7 years old when Cleo Fields was sworn into office. I was 9 years old when they took him out of office. I'm 40 today. And you're still taking things from black people. Anybody who has to cheat to win is a sucker. I'm gonna say it again. Anybody who got to cheat to win is a sucker. And you continue to do this because you don't have a better vision. You don't have a better plan. You are your ancestors' children and grandchildren. Thieves, robbers, liars, consistently. Because you'll go to church on Sunday, tell the Lord you love him. Pray, but you ain't praying out of the same Bible I'm praying out of. Can't be.
let's
Isaiah 1 and 17.
Are you directing this to us?
I am.
Okay. I'm asking that you don't directly. No.
You can say what you want to say.
No, I'm asking
But
that we
the
don't
truth.
be
They
called
don't want
names.
to
I'm
tell the
I
asking.
didn't
truth.
call you a name. What did I call you?
Liars.
Do you lie? All men lie. The Bible says that.
Mr. Chairman.
Senator Carter, briefly.
Mr. Chairman, this is public comment. The First Amendment allows freedom of speech and expression 100% without limitation. Mr. Chambers, put on the record your full comments, and if you see thievery, I want you to call it out. If you see something else, I want you to call it out. As your First Amendment protection is going to be protected in this building.
I'm not going to be
Go
called
ahead on
names.
and speak.
I'm not going to be called names. All right. And what we will do is stay on the four corners of these bills. The maps. Mr. Chambers.
If you are taking something from black people, which means we have congressional representation, am I going to be allowed to speak?
Yes.
Your mic is on.
If you are taking seats from black people, which we are entitled to by the Constitution of this country, then you are a thief in my opinion. And I'm entitled to that opinion.
I will not be
and
called
any
a thief.
senator, if you're offended by it, that's on you, not me.
Right.
Now, if that triggered you, Senator,
No,
then you
didn't
should
trigger
go
me.
to bed tonight, and when you go to bed tonight, talk to your God and ask your God to change your heart, because that's conviction right there. Conviction. That's what it was. It did something in your soul. It made you feel something. And that's what happened when black men show up. When black men with courage, conviction, and righteousness show up, it triggers something in you. And you feel a way about it. So you try to limit us, you try to steal from us, and you think that we don't understand it. Every one of the black men we put up before you stand head and shoulders above every one of you on this committee. And you know it. And it does something in you that makes you feel inferior. So then you come with these white supremacist tactics because you have the numbers, but you don't have the courage. Because if you were really visionary leaders, you'd run against these black men with fair maps, and you get your asses whooped. Louisiana is 33% black. 33% black. We deserve, we have earned, we are due 2 congressional seats. Now, if you take them from us, just know there will be a day in this state when we organize, strategize, and mobilize to take something from you. It's coming. And when you lose your House seat because you decided to be Jeff's boy, when you lose your Senate seat because you decided to be Trump's minion, remember today. Remember the people that came from this state, that you looked in their faces, that you act like what they said didn't matter to you. Because something somebody said thousands of miles away, who don't really care about any of you on this committee, to be honest. Nobody in that conservative party in D.C. cares about any of you on this city committee other than the fact that you have the ability to take something away from black people. And if you were anything like what America should be, you'd find some courage. I don't know where y'all get it from, but you'd find some courage. You could talk to some of your black colleagues. They could tell you where the well is. But if you find that courage, history will record you differently. Now, you may not care what history records you as. Bull Connor didn't when he was running either. Neither did George Wallace when he was the governor of Alabama. But 60 years later, nobody thinks George Wallace was a good white man. And nobody will think that you were good white men. They will think that you all were puppets who played a role for a president and got nothing out of it but thievery.
Thank you for your testimony. The board is clear.
Good job, man.
But niggas is not finna let this go. Nobody's finna let this go. They're not gonna get away with this shit. I'm gonna say something about it every week. Rest in peace, Nolan Wells, every week. But arrest everyone involved. Arrest the parent, arrest the judge who tried to cover it up, arrest the judge who allowed them to park the boat at the house where it got cleaned at, arrest the judge who tried to use her power to deceive the public, disbar her, arrest all the children involved, All the children have contradicting stories, but they was all there. Where the fuck is this young nigga who's saying, oh, if y'all don't come out and tell the truth, I'm gonna expose you? You know something. Arrest that nigga too.
Yeah.
What's up? What are we doing? Nancy Grace is on the case and she's not fucking around. Now, I don't particularly put my trust into white women, but that white woman right there, she's gonna get the job done.
She wants the answers.
Look, I'm gonna tell you something about Nancy. There ain't no bias in this shit. Nancy wants justice.
Yeah.
Nancy wants the truth. Nancy needs to know what the fuck happened and why. Rest in peace, Corey Darrell Ruiz. Arrest the fucking cop that shot him in the head 3 times. He like point blank range, nigga. That shit was a fucking execution, bro. And I think the thing is like we continually have to cover stories like this. This is fucking America, nigga. This is what they do. This is the like he said, this is the continuation of imperialism. That is what they do. They murder citizens. So rest in peace to Mr. Ruiz. Condolences out to his family, and fuck the Madison police. And the fact that they don't have to wear body cams out there is a fucking red flag. The thing is that you normalize these executions and then you train a society to fear power structures instead of trusting community servants. If the slogan or the mission statement behind law enforcement is to protect and serve, then why is it so common for niggas to fear police? You shouldn't fear police if they protect and serve, but no, they protect and serve the elites, they protect and serve property, but they terrorize, harass, and murder citizens. If you've been engaged in a religious practice for centuries that you haven't seen any benefit of at large in the community and only benefits on an individual by individual basis, maybe this is a control. Maybe this is a control in a manufactured spiritual diet.
White people, y'all can start telling us it's not about race the day that we start finding y'all hanging from trees and your murder is marked a suicide. You can start telling us it's not about race the day that we find your bodies dismembered in the woods after you went on a friendly outing with a group of black friends, or to a sleepover and you are found dead in that person's home and no one knows what happened to you and everyone walks away scot-free. You can start telling us it's not about race when we find your sons wrapped up in mats inside the high school, and when the autopsy is done the body parts are missing and still no justice is found and the camera footage is missing. When your son goes on a boating trip with friends and comes not back because he's drowned accidentally, but everybody is free walking around doing interviews on MAGA podcasts. And see, the funny thing is that it's not us wanting to just blame white people for this murder, because I need y'all to understand that this is not the first one. Nolan is not the first. There have been multiple this year, this month alone. Have you heard of Kyle Basinga? Have you heard of Torrance Medley? Have you heard about the 16-year-old girl in Charlotte? Or the 27-year-old in Florida? Or Gerard Jackson at the music festival? Or the 11-year-old boy in the care of his white babysitter near Lake Erie, Ohio? Have you heard of any of these? Probably not, because that is the pattern we recognize. These stories go untold because they are marked down as no foul play. They are marked down as accidental. They are marked down as suicides. And then the world keeps turning. Justice is not served. And these people committing these crimes get to go about their day, walking around like nothing ever happened. This is why we are screaming from the rooftops about Nolan, just as we should be screaming from the rooftops about all of the rest of them. The long list, it goes back decades. But this is the pattern we recognize. This is the system working as it was intended so that we don't receive justice when harm is done to our children, to our mothers, to our brothers, to our sisters, to ourselves. It's not that we want to blame you. It's that you taught us to recognize y'all's pattern of behavior. And it's a pattern that's as old as this country. And y'all are fools if you think we're not going to recognize it. So tell me again how it's not about race when you have a group of MAGA boys going on a MAGA podcast. You have people in official places making personal phone calls and putting out statements to clear their names, centering themselves on the safety of their families in this investigation. No stories corroborating each other, lie after lie after lie. The math is not mathing. Tell us again. Because as we very well know, MAGA is obsessed with race and ensuring that the white race is the only race that gets the forefront, the center, the spotlight, the rights, and the policies in their favor. Don't be mad that we learned to recognize the pattern that y'all continue to show us.
So Bart is Katie's ex-boyfriend. Bart is the one that made the call, and Bart is Katie's ex-boyfriend. Is this why they deleted all those social media pages? Because I'm quite sure if Bart and Katie were in a relationship, that they had, pictures all on social media, because all of them are friends. You know what I'm saying? So could this be the same buddy that Warren was talking about on that couch with Officer Tatum, that he only spoke of maybe once or twice? Because he kept saying, my buddy, my buddy. So your buddy was Bart. Bart was on that boat. And Bart might not have been too happy that Katie was attracted to Nolan. Could this be the person that has done this? Is Officer Tatum gonna interview Bart? You know what I'm saying? Is this the reason why they have eliminated all of the social media pages? Because of the simple fact that Katie, this is a good picture of Katie now that I saw. Katie and Bart was in an intimate relationship, and people have said that, quote unquote, saw him on the beach in the water, that him and Katie were intimate. That's what they're saying. So could Bart have felt some type of way, being that he's a star athlete also? I heard he wasn't nothing but a kicker. I don't know. Did they have words and Nolan said something like this? Well, you ain't gonna be nothing but a kicker when you go to the NFL. I don't know a lot about football and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, could it be some tension between Nolan and Bart about Katie? Because Katie used to date Bart, and Bart didn't like the fact that Katie is now attracted to Nolan. Could this have been the person that had something to do with Nolan Wells unalignment? Because we clearly heard them on the boat say Bart. We clearly heard them on that boat after that audio was cleaned up. Was that Katie saying, is he dead? Nolan. And then Bart. I said it. This right here, something about your conscience. After a while, I don't care what you do. Right and right is wrong and wrong. Most people got a conscience. After a while, the truth is going to come out. And it's going to be surprising to us what really, really, really happened on that boat. We know something ain't right. I knew from the throat not being intact, and I knew from the red spot on the back of his head. And I think another judge had said that is the signs of somebody drowning you. And somebody else said that could be the signs of somebody, strangling you or choking you in a certain way, because that neck wasn't included with the autopsy. But somebody needs to interview Bart. Officer Tatum, where you at? Go get Bart and sit his ass on that sofa and see what's going on and see why he eliminated his social media pages and why all his homeboys did. Because remember, they wouldn't say his name, that's just their buddy. But Warren did say Bart was the buddy he was referring to.
So what are you doing then? What are we having a conversation about? You tell me.
Okay, first of all, I'm an FAA inspector. Oh shit! I'm undercover. I was inspecting the washroom, making sure everything was in compliance.
Okay.
And you are interfering with my investigation, okay?
Okay. All right, listen, bro. I don't know what you're trying to do.
Hey, look, bro. I'm sitting here, okay? On this thing.
Okay.
You need to get the fuck out of my face.
Okay.
Alright, told you dumbasses that I'm undercover right now. Get your asses out of here so I can finish my mission.
Yeah. Jimmy and I. We'll get Jimmy, let's go. Sorry, good luck. Whatever you're trying to do, man. We're out of here.
The flight attendant, she gotta go be on the plane. Alright. Oh shit.
Right, now,
let's keep it.
Can I get my bag now?
Yes, sir. Yeah, so you go right ahead. I'm so sorry about that, sir. Sorry about that. As a fellow cop, I do sympathize with you, sir. I understand.
Oh. And this guy right here is a known terrorist.
Oh.
Now I'm a terrorist?
I'm
a businessman, all right? I'm a businessman. Federal agent.
People who could have changed the world, but disappeared.
This is Amy Eskridge, a scientist from Alabama who spent her career trying to do something that most people thought was impossible. Figure out how to harness anti-gravity. She didn't just want to study it. She wanted to make it a reality. And according to her, she did. Reporting to journalists that she had made a major breakthrough, and she believed she was sitting on one of the biggest scientific discoveries in history. That, if true, would have changed space travel forever. But as her research progressed, strange things started happening. She claimed that she was being targeted because of her work. Photos later emerged showing strange, unexplained marks on her hands, believing that she had been hit with some sort of invisible energy weapon. Just weeks later, she was found lifeless in her home at just 34. Investigators ruled it a self-inflicted gunshot wound. But she had posted publicly just days prior, writing that if anyone ever saw a report saying she had unalived herself, she definitely had not, turning her death into one of the most debated mysteries on the internet.
You mean to tell me an entire neck was removed and wasn't sent along with his body for an independent second autopsy? Remember how Celeste's fingers were removed? Oh, I got time. Let's really wake it the fuck up, because the only reason why a hyoid bone, laryngeal cartilage, a thyroid horn that's in the neck as well, and an entire trachea would be removed from his body prior to sending it for a secondary autopsy is because those specific body parts determined exactly how Nolan was murdered, and that was either strangulation or hanging. 90% of all strangulations and hangings are hyoid bone breaks. That's what kills you. And the rest of the parts would have showed constricting. It would have showed damage to the trachea and the laryngeal cartilage and the thyroid horn and everything in the neck. I mean, you just removed the entire neck and didn't send it? Why? Because it determined exactly how Nolan was murdered. Well, they didn't have his lungs there either. You know why? Because they didn't have water in them. Remember, this was all just an accidental drowning. Well, then where are his lungs? So we can determine that in this independent autopsy. Where's the first one? Oh, it's not done yet? How? His neck's removed. This is someone's baby. This is someone's child. And you got the medical examiner colluding in a cover-up.
What is Elon Musk doing with his money? He's about to become a trillionaire.
He is a trillionaire. Yeah,
where's
he's a
that money? He
trillionaire.
could save a few countries with that money.
Yeah, he could. That's
Is he
true.
going to? No.
No.
People who have that much money, it's like, what do you think? You're going to live forever, Elon? Come on.
Wait, so a few points, Joy. Less than 0.1% of Elon's total net worth is actual cash sitting in the bank. That's around 1 or 2 billion at most. The rest of it, meaning 99.9% of it, is pure stocks and ownership in his companies like SpaceX, Tesla, and others. Those companies have created over 160,000 direct jobs, over 600,000 indirect jobs through their supply chains, and well over 500,000 more induced jobs from broader economic activity. So if we do the math, at least 1 million people globally are able to put bread on their table thanks to the jobs that Elon's companies created. Now, on the other hand, you, Joy, you are worth $30 million. And unlike Elon, you haven't created any jobs. You're not a founder or owner of a scalable company. And so most of it, if not all of your $30 million, is actual money ready to be spent. $30 million, that is generational wealth. And as you just said, are you gonna live forever, Elon? Are you gonna live forever, Joy? Why aren't you giving away your money? With just, I don't know, 1/3 of it, you could probably feed 3,000 people for an entire year. So Joy, $30 million. When do you start your giveaway?
Yeah, they did it. Y'all peeped this shit. So, y'all remember the story that happened with Mr. Nolan, right? Well, guess what? Shortly after Nolan's story that became viral, let me tell y'all what his little best friends done did shortly thereafter that.
If they are so innocent, explain to me why all of them done deleted their damn accounts. If they are so innocent, why did they delete their accounts? Because, when white people act racist and shit like that on the internet, they can't tend to hold their ground. They can't tend to, you know what I'm saying? They can't stand behind it. So what they do, they delete their pages. That boy dies. The shit goes viral. These motherfuckers that claim that this was their best fucking friend deleted their fucking page. For fucking what if they so goddamn innocent? Huh? If they are so innocent, why did they delete their page? Miss me with the bullshit, they fucking did.
Okay, y'all, this Nolan Wells situation is getting stranger by the day, and now text messages are being released. You see, Nolan Wells' friend Christian Bass shared a carousel post on Instagram with 15 images and videos. But what has everyone talking is the final slide where Nolan's friend shares their final text conversation, and just when you think things couldn't get more strange, it just did. You see, in the messages, Nolan appears to have sent his friend Christian his location. However, when Christian replied back and asked him what was the location he sent him, Nolan allegedly texted back, "Over." Now, if you're wondering why I'm using the word allegedly, although the message is coming from Nolan's phone, it's because Nolan's family recently revealed text messages were deleted from his phone before his so-called friends returned it. And get this. According to Nolan's parents, the friends didn't willingly return the phone. His parents actually tracked his phone and had them return it. Now, social media is trying to decipher what exactly the over message meant. And if the message was sent at the time Nolan was missing, it makes sense why the friends have lawyered up.
On behalf of Emmett Till's birthday week, here are 3 more facts they don't teach you about him. This is the lady that accused the 14-year-old Emmett of whistling at her, which led to him being kidnapped and executed with no consequences. Here's her partying with his killers after the no guilty verdict, by the way. But did you know that there was actually a warrant for her arrest just the day after Emmett was kidnapped, but the sheriff chose not to pursue it? He said she was a mother and he didn't want to bother her. But I guess this mother, who couldn't even identify her own son except for a ring he had worn because of how badly he was mutilated, I guess her feelings don't matter. This wasn't even public knowledge to the family or anybody else until 2022, 67 years later. In 2007, a sign to memorialize Emmett Till was put up next to the river that his body was found in. But racists took that sign and threw it into the same river. But after a public outcry, they replaced that sign. But that second sign eventually got vandalized, so much so that you couldn't even read it anymore. But don't worry, this one eventually got replaced with the brand new sign. After being up for about a month, the third sign became illegible because it was riddled by over 100 bullets. But the people finally said not today, Satan, because in 2019 they installed a 500-pound steel bulletproof sign, and as of right now, it's still standing. Emmett actually contacted polio at age 5, and although he did recover, it left him with a stutter. And so to help him better communicate, his mom actually taught him how to whistle, which helped him break up his breaths for overall better communication. And as we know, that lady accused him of whistling at her, which meant if that was true, he was only trying to communicate the only way he knew how, given his disability. Emmett would have been turning 85 this week, which for context, that's younger than Morgan Freeman.
Nolan Xavier Wells' independent autopsy results came back. And if y'all still say it's no foul play, then I don't know what that says for you. Let me start by saying this. Attorney Crump said the cause of death and the manner of death are still undetermined. And they're still doing further investigations. But the independent medical examiner did not rule out foul play. One point is Nolan Wells had a red discoloration on the back of his neck. Mind you, in that soft tissue behind Nolan's head where they found that red discoloration, it wasn't small. It was around 12 by 8 inches in length. Number 2, when they sent his body, the throat area in his body was missing. Listen to this.
Area of red discoloration in the soft tissue of the back of the head, the occipital region, is significant because he cannot determine why you have that red discoloration in the back of his brain. That's significant. He also talked about, Mr. Williams, if you could, just the fact that as it's common practice, he was missing his throat.
He was missing
when
his
they
throat.
received the body. And he wants to know why they held it back. He's not drawing any conclusions, but he said he would want to examine it if there were neck fractures or compressions to the neck.
But you still have people running with this narrative that there was no foul play. Why didn't they send his throat with him? And I know somebody's going to say it's normal for them to remove his organs. That is normal. But what's not normal is them not sending his organs. Why is his throat still in Mississippi and his body is in Washington, D.C.? And this leads me back to what I said before. Somebody is covering something up. And none of this seems weird to you. But what about the fact that none of his so-called friends went to his funeral? Yeah, okay. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, real quick, I'm going to try to squeeze this information in real fast. Now, all of you know I'm a licensed funeral director and embalmer. I'm going to speak about something about Nolan Wells. Some of y'all may be able to stomach it, some of you won't. It may be a trigger one for some of y'all. Either way it go, if you can stay, stay. If you can't, go ahead and move on. All right, now, Attorney Ben Crump and his office had released a statement saying that the second autopsy that was done in Washington, D.C. came back inconclusive thus far because when they received the body of Nolan Wells, the throat was missing. Now, somebody asked me to do a video about it because I'm a licensed funeral director and embalmer. And I was like, okay, fine. I didn't plan on doing it, but I'll do it. Now, when a medical examiner does an autopsy, there are certain body parts that are removed and examined for autopsy purposes, for records purposes. Everything should be written down. Everything needs to be documented. Is the throat removed? Yes. In other organs, yes, they are. But after an autopsy is completed, the visceral organs and all other stuff is placed in a biohazard bag, and it is also accompanied with the body of the deceased. So when Nolan Wells' body got to Washington, D.C., all of his body parts that were examined by the medical examiner or coroner in Mississippi should have gone with him to D.C. Nothing should have been missing. I went and Googled specifically in the state of Mississippi, is it normal practice for certain body parts to be missing after an autopsy and, and being sent somewhere else for a disposition or a second autopsy? And the answer that I got back was no, it is not normal for body parts to be missing. Under certain circumstances, certain body parts could be missing, but those circumstances are like if a person passed away from infectious or communicable disease, and we know that that's not the case. So under normal circumstances, there is no reason why anything should have been missing from Nolan Wells' body. And if for any reason they decided, okay, well, we have to get rid of this particular body part, that should have been documented and the information should have been sent to whoever was receiving the body after the medical examiner or coroner was finished with their examination after that. So I don't know what's what, who's who did what, who decided what, but there needs to be complete transparency about that. If there was any reason that anything was missing, there needs to be 100% transparency, ahead of time. That's it.
What's up, family? Well,